the standardized test. And I
I move that we adopt the agenda.
We do have one thing. That will be reports from department heads. We put that at 16A.
Christmas parade, Jericho.
Miss Fountain said Christmas parade, Alderman Fountain.
Approval of the Christmas parade.
And put that under 15.
Could you say what that was? Can't hear you back here.
Approval of the Christmas parade.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda. Do we adopt the agenda?
I second.
All right, it's been moved by Alderman Jones, second by Alderman Merriman, that the agenda be accepted. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. All right, first on the agenda, we have a motion to authorize the transfer of $3,482.85 from a general ACH fund to the general operating fund. So this will put 8.
I move that we authorize a transfer of $3,482.85 from general ACH fund to general operating fund, municipal aid.
It's been moved by Alderwoman Mary Butler, and second by Alderman Jones. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carried. Next on the agenda, number 2, we have a motion to authorize retaining the expert legal services of Blackman and Blackman LLC for protection of the Holly Springs Utility Department.
Can you hold that as an executive session issue?
Next on the agenda, we have a motion to authorize the ratification, correction, difference in payment approved in the amount of $825 made to MCDEMA for a registration with Chief Rodney Crane, Mr. Kerry White, and Mr. Elon.
Madam Clerk.
Yes, ma'am. It was the training that Chief Crane asked for at the last board meeting that he thought that it was free, but it's not free. There is a registration fee associated with it, and it's $825 for all of them to attend.
I will move to authorize the ratification or correction of the difference in payment approved in the amount of $825 made to MCDEMA for registration for Chief Rodney Crane, Mr. Kevin White, and Mr. LaRon Willis.
It's been moved by Alderwoman Merriweather and second by Alderman Jones. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Nay. Ayes have it. Next on the agenda, we have the city general bills and claims, closeout, 1023 to 1024.
We had some invoices that came in after the closeout of the fiscal year. So, we don't want it to hit the new budget. It needs to come out the old budget. So those payments had needed to be posted to the old budget.
I make that motion.
It's been moved by Alderman Falcon and second by Alderman Jones. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Next, we have the city general bills and claims. New budget. Left grade on that, the city clerk.
Sir.
Number 5, it says new budget, those are claims from October.
Those are claims from after 9:30 for October 1.
I move that we approve and accept the city general bills and claims from the new budget.
I second.
We move by Alderwoman Merriweather, second by Alderwoman Fountain. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Next, the city utility bills and claims. Move that we pay the city utility bills and claims.
I second.
It's been moved by Alderman Jones and second by Alderwoman Fountain that we pay the city utility bills and claims. All in favor? Aye. All opposed, nay.
Aye.
Nay.
What was voting on that, sir, please, sir?
City utility bills. and
What was the vote?
claims.
Was it 3-0?
2
2-1.
yeas, 1 nay.
Okay, who was on the name?
We have 1 day in Merriweather.
Okay,
On telephone, please.
okay,
By Alderman
okay.
Fountain.
Thank you.
Motion to authorize the ratification payment in the amount of $135 made to Sigma Consultant for registration for Mr. Tony Howe to attend the chemical spill response training, Batesville, Mississippi, on November 5th, 2024.
They went to the chemical spill training today. They have to be certified in that to spray the mosquito spray. And they will also need to add per diem as well.
Just per diem in addition to 135.
Yes.
I'll motion to authorize the ratification of payment in the amount of $135 plus per diem made to Sigma Consultant for registration for Mr. Tony Howe to attend chemical spill response training in Batesville, Mississippi, on November 5th, 2024.
It's been moved by Alderwoman Merriweather, second by Alderman Jones. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Next, a motion to ratify attendance of employees at the utility department to chemical spill response training in Batesville, Mississippi on November 5th, 2024. There you go.
This is the same as, what Jericho said, we had 4 employees that needed to attend today. with the registration fee. He is alert.
I couldn't hear that, Chuck.
It was for the utility department to attend the same training that the general city employees attended in Batesville today.
Same, 135 each.
135 plus per diem.
4.
You said 4
For
for 4 employees.
Chester LaShaw, Marvin Burke, Tracy Reynolds, and Ivy School.
Can I get a motion? Madam City Clerk?
Say that, give us the names again.
They asking for the names.
Chester,
Chester LaShaw, Marvin Burke, Tracy Reynolds, and Ivory Stewart.
I move to ratify the attendance of Chester LaSure, Ivan Stewart, Marvin Burke, and Tracy Reynolds, employees of the utility department, to attend the chemical spill response training in Batesville, Mississippi on November 5th, 2024, at $135 plus per diem.
I second.
It's been moved by Alderwoman Merriweather and seconded by Alderwoman Thompson. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? No. The ayes have it, motion carried. Next, we have a motion to authorize City Clerk Gerald S. Jones, Deputy Clerk Keisha Street, and Deputy Clerk Wanda Scott to attend the winter conference, Flowood, Mississippi, December 11th through 13th, 2024, with a registration fee of $250 plus hotel and per diem.
I move to authorize City Clerk Jerica S. Jones, Deputy Clerk of Keisha Street, and Deputy Clerk Wanda Scott to attend the winter conference in Flowood, Mississippi, December 11th through 13th, 2024, with a registration fee of $250 plus hotel plus and per diem.
Discussion, Madam City Clerk.
For discussion.
Go. Tell her to speak up.
Attorney Perry said, go ahead, speak up.
My concern is that we will have all 3 of our city clerks out of the office during this winter conference. I understand they may need training for this conference, but during this time, there will be no one in the office for, I'm assuming, 1 travel day and 2 days of conference. So I want to know, is that, what do you think, Madam City Clerk? This is your office. I think at least one person should be there to continue to have the office open. It is getting close to election time, and there's no one in the office to take money or to run that office during these 3 days, 3 consecutive days.
Yes, ma'am. My request was for myself and 1 deputy clerk to go, but Mayor would like for the office at whole to go.
Well, I'm not in agreement. I believe that it should be at least one person to stay and keep the office open.
This is clerk training like we go to in, yes, this is.
It's a conference.
What was your
Well, this is just a conference.
Oh, it's just a conference. Gotcha.
It's mandatory training.
No, ma'am, it's not mandatory.
Okay.
It's just
Will this
continue.
training be available? Will this training be available upon another day?
Yes, they have winter, spring, fall conferences every year.
Okay.
I will draw my motion. So what's your recommendation?
My
Go ahead,
recommendation,
Madam City Clerk. I'm sorry.
my recommendation was for myself and, Deputy Clerk Ms. Street to attend the training.
I'll make a motion to authorize City Clerk Jerica S. Jones and Deputy Clerk Lakeisha Street to attend the winter conference in Flowood, Mississippi, December 11th through 13th, 2024, with a registration fee of $250 plus hotel plus and per diem.
I'll second.
Been moved by Alderwoman Merriweather and second by Alderwoman Fountain. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposers, nay. Ayes have it. Next on the agenda, we have the motion to authorize payment of $94,415.89 to Pfeiffer and Associates for the paid application number 6, Main Fire Station renovation and additions. And the execution of any related documents. I move.
There money in the budget?
Yes, it was included in it.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Alderman Jones, second by Alderwoman Merriweather. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Next on the agenda, we have a motion to authorize the execution of request for cash number 4 in the amount of $56,807.10. The final RFC Main Fire Station renovation and addition. Madam City Clerk, this is the last payment. Are you done with that?
Well, the payment is 94,000 that we're gonna make to Pfeiffer. We are requesting 56 back in reimbursement. That's all the money that we have left in that cap loan is 56,000 that can be reimbursed to the city.
I second.
Been moved by Alderman Jones, second by Alderman Merriweather. All in favor? Aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next, we have a motion to authorize payment of $2,745.25. Department of Finance and Administration, October 2024 municipal court sale.
I move to authorize payment of $2,745.25 to the Department of Finance and Administration, October 2024 municipal court settle.
It's been moved by Alderwoman Merriweather, second by Alderman Jones. All in favor? Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Next, we have a motion to authorize transfer of $1,396.50 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund. October 2024 in courts.
Credit card payments that's received through municipal court.
I move to authorize transfer of $1,396.50 from the general ACH fund to general operating fund in October 2024 in county.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderwoman Fountain. All in favor? Aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Next, we have Pamela Lewis, zoning director, MCDE EMA training. Mr. Lewis. Good evening.
Fine, good afternoon.
Okay, this training is the same one that Chief Crane is attending, and I need to attend it as well. I spoke with you remember who the person was, Jericho? He is the city's representative for the FEMA, and I am the administrator for the city, between and them, and we're having to have updates, potentially updates to our flood zone ordinance. I believe Alderman Fountain, I think it was in like February 21, if you remember, there was a motion and Ms. Fountain seconded where they did the updates, but it could be time again, per the state. So I had to mail in, per Mayor Gibson's approval, I had to send to them they thought that we were behind in it, but there could be some changes per the state that the board would have to, make changes or adjustments to, along with the permit application. So all those would have to be assessed during this class. So we're requesting hotel registration and per diem for it. And the registration now for me will be $350 because it was past the deadline. $350.
Where is it at?
I know I had that. I didn't even really look at it.
It's the 2024 Midwinter Conference, and it's gonna be November the 19th through the 21st, 2024, in Biloxi, Mississippi.
It's the emergency management conference.
Ready for the motion?
Ready for the
Ready.
He said he's ready.
Okay. Well, I'd like to move to authorize Pamela Lewis, zoning director, to attend the McDEMA training with hotel and registration fee of $350 on the dates of November 19th through 21st in Biloxi, Mississippi, plus per diem.
A second.
All right, it's been moved by Alderwoman Fountain, second by Alderwoman Merriweather. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Okay, the next one I have, since I'm here, we have CJ's Lounge. It's at 145 North Plymouth Street. It is across from Serenity. He is the owner of the building, Mr. And Mrs. Fitzpatrick. The previous owners, CJ, they're no longer the owner, so they're going to take ownership, and they're requesting a beer permit to sell beer at that location.
All right. State your name.
I'm Chavez Fitzpatrick, the owner of Full Circle Holdings. My wife is on the beer permit, so I'm here as a representative for her.
It has been, if you see your paperwork, the state have already did their background. The city does a local background check just to make sure there are no racketeering or no other type of infractions that they may acquire through the city. And everything checked out fine.
I saw it in the package, so it was that. Okay. Your motion. For the request for approval to sell beer at CJ's Lounge, 145 North Memphis Street. This is
Denzel.
Denzel Fitzpatrick, Full Circle Holdings. Is there a motion?
Yes, I make the motion to approve Ms. Tanzel Tanville Fitzpatrick of Full Circle Holding, authorizing the approval to sell beer at CJ's Lounge at 145 North Memphis Street in Holly Springs.
All right, it's been moved by Alderwoman Fountain, second by Alderman Jones. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposers, nay. Motion carries.
Everything's free. You come see me. Thank you.
Next, we have the approval of the Christmas parade.
Y'all want to hear my
Yes,
comments?
ma'am, you come forward.
I have prepared comment. Do I have to sit down?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I am Martha Thomas, and I'm the director of the Holly Springs Main Street Chamber. I found this in the basement because no money spent. I've been in this position since mid-April. I know a good bit about the history of Holly Springs, so I can answer a lot of questions. My husband was tourism director. But new to me are all these events. There are a lot of events, especially during December. But the most recent was Trunk or Treat. And I don't know if any of you were out Thursday night. That's the most fun I've had in 30 years in Holly Springs. Those children were great. We ran out of candy twice. The next challenge is the Christmas parade, which currently is scheduled for December 7th, pending board approval, so that I can talk to the chief of police and fire chief. Now, at FedEx, we would have called this a big dot deal. It would have been a big dot deal. So in reading the documentation, I found that approval from the board is the first thing I have to do. So I'm here. We do need to close some streets for the parade. It starts down at the old intermediate school and comes straight on up, that goes around the square, and all the little dance groups get to stop and dance, and I can't wait. We have applied for a grant, and I got preliminary positive feedback from the people in Jackson with CRI CPA. There's a new category of expenses that you can get with ARPA, and that's community and local festivities. And if that's not the parade, I don't know what is. So we're trying to get that. I haven't gotten the final word. Hopefully we will. Otherwise, we'll be using last year's banners. So that'll be the theme. I did leave a letter for each of the alder women and aldermen. Came over last Friday and left them. Most of what I probably needed to say is in the letters. I just wanted to introduce myself, number one, because I don't know everybody. And second, just to tell you how much we need your support. We have a great working relationship with the Holly Springs Advancement Society. They worked with us on the Trunk or Treat, and I expect to use them like crazy for the Christmas parade. And I think that's all I've got. See, I skipped a lot of words. I didn't even take 3 minutes. It starts at 5 and goes till it finishes. So if we have a lot more people in the parade, it'll take a little longer. But we're not going to cut anybody out. The only thing we are asking that was not on the application last year is that the music be appropriate to the season and no offensive words, because we did have a little problem with that last year. So we are asking for that, and we will monitor it. That all.
You requesting the fire truck, a fence, or something?
Well, we're gonna have to talk to the fire department about what they have the Santa Claus suit. And we can't ride on the fire truck. So we have to pick a fireman to be Santa Claus. And that's great. The kids love that. They just like Santa Claus. They really don't care who's in the suit. If that's all the questions, I'm gonna sit back down. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the Christmas parade on December 7th, 2024, police assistance?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, someone else that started talking, but anyway, I would like to make the motion to approve the Christmas parade. With the Christmas parade on December the 7th, 2024, with the, streets that should close to be closed, and also to, speak with the fire department about the fire truck in the parade, and also police presence.
A second? Second?
All right, it's been moved by Alderwoman Fountain, second by Alderwoman Mary, but all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Next, we have, public, comment. First, we have, Mr. Jim Smith.
Come on, man, it's not good. Don't sit for that.
Don't take it.
3 minutes, sir.
Jim Smith. I certainly like it better when Alderman Fountain is here. Her smile brightens up the mundane business of Holly Springs.
Thank you.
Glad to see that the Alderman reports are finally on the agenda and going to be spoken about. Once again, my bill arrived 3 weeks late, but we had discussions in this room a couple of weeks ago about raising our rates. Once again, the bill was incorrect. But again, we're talking about raising rates. There's been allegations that I read online, don't know how true they are, that at least one ratepayer owes about $300,000. But we're discussing raising our rates. There's been talk in this room that there's at least $1 million in arrears owed to HSUD. But we're talking about raising our rates. I offered my services as a grant writer based on my proven track record of securing federal, state, county, and private grants. You guys ignored that offer, but there's been discussion about raising our electric rates. Do me a favor, get your house in order before you start taking from my house. TVA has raised the rates to the city, and yet the city has not properly informed the HSUD customers per the HSUD service agreement contract with their customers that the rate's been increased. There's a pass-through on that increase to TVA or from TVA. On the bright side, for the first time in 2 years, someone has taken at least minimal action with regard to my complaints concerning HSUD. Mr. Jones came out to my house this past week and spent approximately an hour investigating and gathering information. And investigating and gathering information is great, and I certainly appreciate it. But I need help. But you guys know that. Or you should know it. Unfortunately, you've ignored my pleas, my emails, my soliloquies here at this meeting for the past 2 years, except for that one meeting I did miss. You know, we need help. And talking about it and pontificating about it and investigating and gathering information really doesn't do any good. So, is that my 3 minutes? Oh, you scared me, Mr. Ship. I thought you were hoping my 3 minutes was up. I just, you know, I just need help. I do. I need help with my utilities. I need help on my sidewalks. And I know you guys are balancing a whole plethora of issues and complaints. But 2 years, I think that's enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Beverly LaSure.
Good afternoon. My name is Delbert LaSure from Holly Springs, Mississippi. And I know that I may sound repetitive when I say this, but it's time to sever ties with Wayne Jones as the GM of Holly Springs Utility Department. When he came up here and tried to raise the rates on our elderly and disabled population to try to put money into the pockets of TVA or whatever for his relationships, that was a deal breaker. At that time, you all should have severed ties with him. There's no going back from that. And I don't understand how, and I know I'm not the only person that see that. I know that I'm not the only person that see that he does not have the interpersonal skills required to operate that utility department. That's why you got a lot of people out there right now where the morale is sinking, and it's sinking fast. I don't think that we should go into the winter months with a failure at the helm of that department out there. And it's behooves you all to go ahead and take action now while you kind of can settle it in and be looking for somebody that's more qualified for that position. He simply is not qualified. He does not have the interpersonal skills. He does not have the knowledge, skills, nor abilities, none of the KSAs to meet that job requirement. He simply is not fit for that position. Now, I know that he may have relationships with different people in here, and that's fine. But this is not about personal relationships. This is about the welfare of people in Holly Springs, Marshall County, and Benton County. And going into the winter months, it would be neglectful, to say the least, for you all to continue to have someone that you know. I'm not the only person that knows that he's not fit for that position. I cannot be the only person. For you all to allow him to be at that position and risk my mom's. Some of you all have parents here. Some of you all have kids here. And to risk that important position with a known failure. What does that say about us? What does that say about us? We are better than that. If a person is, if friendships is what get us these type of positions, then trust me, I would probably be in DC somewhere. But I'm telling you right now, well, a person with integrity won't take a position that they're not qualified for. He cannot operate a bucket truck. He doesn't have any CDLs. He don't know anything about accounting, zero customer service, no type of interpersonal skills. What qualified him to be in that position? That's what you all should be asking yourself. And now, again, thank you for your time. And again, my name is Delbert LeSure from Holly Springs, Mississippi, and I stand by every word that I just said.
All right, next we have reports from department heads. The department heads for the reports will come at this time.
You see him coming.
How y'all doing?
All right. Hey.
Yeah, we
All right, we just you do. Y'all have to go.
All right, how y'all doing today? Good. What I have before you is a contract. Earlier this season, we had contracted out with 120 Water Service to help us deliver our lead service line inventory. So we had a deadline October the 15th. So we met that deadline. So the second step is to mail out letters to all the unknowns on the service lines, and that is due by November the 15th. So we met, and we think it's best that we contract this out through them. because that deadline is next Friday. And, contract is before you all.
We can't hear you, sir.
Oh, you can't?
Sorry.
Okay.
If y'all would use the microphone, it would help out.
Okay.
So would you mind repeating, sir?
Repeat that. Okay. All right, this is a contract. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is a contract, it's the second part of the lead service line inventory.
Service line.
Inventory, yes, from EPA.
Okay.
We met the deadline October the 15th. And now the second part is to mail out letters to all the unknowns on the service line. And that deadline is due November the 15th, which is next Friday. So we met and we decided that it's best to contract this out to 120 Water to meet that deadline.
So they will be helping to get the letters out?
They're gonna mail them all out. Yes. It's 3,597 letters they have to mail out. Huh?
So where's that,
Yes.
where's the service line located, Richard? Where's the service line located?
All over the city.
Is this gas?
No, water.
Water.
That's what those is that.
Thank you.
You are-
Guaranteed to meet that deadline by November 15th?
Yes, yes. They had a hard deadline the last Friday, and I talked to them and told them we had a board meeting tonight. So and I told them I was hopeful we would get it approved, and in the morning they'll be waiting on our answer. So they said they can make it happen if we agree to it.
When will they start?
Yes. Mhm. They're just waiting on our okay. And sign contract.
What board? Is your reference to 120 Water, deadline 3,597 cents? By November 15th?
Yes.
Thank you for saying that. So
All right. Okay, there we go. So,
All the unknown, all the customers that are unknown
right.
about the meters, the customers, the meters on both sides, the unknown. So basically, the ones that we haven't made it to yet, as far as digging up and verifying whether it's plastic, lead, or copper. Yes. Yes.
I think they passed a new law on it or a new statute or something.
Yeah.
I so moved.
been moved by Alderwoman Medlin, their second. Second by Alderman Jones. All in favor? Aye, all opposers, nay.
Aye.
What the ass?
Thank y'all. Thank y'all very much. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank y'all.
Good evening, Board. Thank you for the opportunity. The information package that I passed out, I emailed out earlier, so hopefully everybody got a chance to see it. I'm not going to go through all this tonight. I just want to highlight a couple of things. First of all, for the,
John,
Yes, sir.
before you go into your report, can you give me an update on the CD, the matter with the CD?
the matter with the CDs are still, as far as, how the funds of the CDs are divided up.
No, the CD, that you guys said that you can buy the 1.53 million.
Yeah, we're still, that is still being investigated.
We should, Attorney Perry,
Mhm.
is there a way we should be able to do something, like an affidavit or something to the bank that would probably authorize them to, go.
To release the information.
Release the information in regards to the CD, because I know there's no way that the bank is gonna issue a, certificate of deposit and not have information on there. So I think.
Who's holding it?
Is the bank of Holly Springs.
Oh.
So, do we need to do some type of action to get you to, look into that matter for us? Or
If you want to, yes, you can take action, and I can subpoena the record.
so I authorize the Attorney Perry to, look into the matter regarding the, $1.53 million CD that's held at the bank of Holly Springs.
Yeah.
Because it's not that complicated. It can't.
Well,
Have a 1.53 million.
It's got to be one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, that's
Well,
one
that
money to not know anything about.
Yeah.
So we need to try
well,
to find that one out.
yeah, when I went to the bank and inquired about the CD, they told me, because I was inquiring about using those funds for other purposes, i.e., put toward the
Probably
TV
didn't have
possible.
the right
But
documentation.
they
That's
told
why.
me that I needed to bring the physical CD in. That's what they told me at the bank, and we can't find it.
No. Attorney Perry, I think
We can get the
it should be something simple like the affidavit they'll take care of, so we'll let Attorney Perry take it. I made a motion, so.
Yeah, you got to take care of the motion now.
So
You would?
it's been moved by Alderman Jones and seconded by Alderman Maryland. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Now, where, we need to put a change on.
I can reach out to them tomorrow and see if it's required.
All right, Mr. Jones.
No, okay. Few positives. We did pay the remaining TVA balance just this week, so we're paying the TVA invoice late, but we've paid it within the month again. So that's a good thing. We have another TVA invoice coming up that just came out that we'll have to pay, this month, but we anticipate being able to pay that. As far as our meter reading and billing is concerned, I've started looking at the aggregate data for the number of meters that we've read from starting in July to September. We've read over 24,936 meters. We had 1,126 rechecks, and this is at a total cost that we spent for meter reading at $39,327. That comes to about $1.60 per meter, okay, in terms of the total cost, and we got about 4.5% rechecks. Now, this is aggregate data for the last 3 months. The idea is to go back and look at the data from now. I want to look at it for the last year to see if I'm hoping to see that there's improvements by looking at the data before the meter reader started, but we started with the most recent data. So that's where we're at looking at that. And that's it.
Do you have any figures in terms of new services? Has that improved? I know there were about 200 new service applications that we needed to move on. And then any information concerning the 30, 60, 90 day behind?
Yes, ma'am. Things slip your mind when you get up here, but I got 2 reports here, the 30, 60, 90 day reports for the last 2 weeks. Here's, from the report from 11/4 and the report for, 9/27, if you could pass those out. And it explains, just how much money we've actually been able, it's over $400,000 that we've been able to bring in, which is about 12%, since the collection letters went out. It's, everybody gets two. And one is for, 9:30 to 11/4 and 9:30 to, 10/27. I think that's enough. And if you look at the second page, you can see that it lists the date of the payments. And at the bottom there, to make a long story short, for the 10/27, we had collected 388,890, I'm sorry, $998.55. And on the second date, if you look at the second page, we've collected over $470,246.92. So we're at about, that's about, we're collecting about 12%. And this report is run weekly. So you can see that we are collecting, we started with the arrears that were over 90 days past due, and those funds are coming in, which is a good thing for the utility department.
Okay. So they'll put us on time with our 2 days later.
No, sir. These are funds that are these are uncollected funds. So it goes toward the expenses for, the general expenses, but the funds that this is part of the overall funds that we collect. So these funds, yes, they do go to the TVA payment. Yes, they do. Yes, actually.
You mentioned to us earlier concerning getting bills out on time. How's that process? By December, that everything should be rectified. So what you said to us previously, are we still on time for that? And
Well,
if not, why not?
Well, okay. If not, why not?
Well, first of all, are we on schedule for that? That's what is more important to. But you said December.
Yeah, I expect to be on schedule. However, our meter readers are not reading currently because the contract expired on the 21st of October. And now that contract was not extended, so they're not reading now. So
But that's number 3, right? You request the authority to negotiate a 1-year contract
right, that's number 3.
with David Jolly reading something.
Yes. That's number 3, but you had asked about what do I expect? If the meter readers come back, and that's one of the things I'm asking tonight, and they're ready to start again tomorrow. Then I expect that, yes, with the addition of the additional meter readers that I am asking for to ensure that we actually have the billing out, caught up and out in time, before the new year. If that happens, then the billing will be caught up, provided there's no disasters as far as lightning and all that kind of stuff is concerned. But yes.
Am I correct? Concerning this meter reading company or something?
There was something that, not with them, it was
Oh,
with
wasn't
with the company that was, asking to do a customer service seminar type of deal.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
This contract you're talking about, is it with GE?
No, the Jolly meter reader contract expired. The original contract was for 90 days to make sure that they could do what I expected them to do and that they could make a profit at doing the work. And I wanted to extend that contract so that we wouldn't have this lapse period, but that didn't happen. That's water under the bridge. But we need to have the meter readers out there reading because we've actually gained on our meter reading and our billing, and we are in a very good position to be rid of meter reading and billing in the near future. If we bring these meter readers in, bring the other meter readers, the other meter reading company in that I'm recommending to get rid of the meter reading and billing problem. Now, it's all part of the solution to the GE AMI system, which is not reading all the meters at the same time regularly. Like I said, here we've read a total of 24,936 meters over the last 3 months. That's roughly 8,000 meters a month. Having to go out and read manually by hand. We cannot continue to follow this pattern and expect to be able to keep our payments up to TVA. It's just it's not feasible. And so my solution to this problem is purchasing another AMI meter reading system and having it installed by doing the things that I suggest. And it's not an impossible fix, but it is a detailed fix that has to be executed correctly. And so I've made recommendations to bring in an engineering consultant firm that can help with the bid process and the installation process and the decommissioning of the GE system. That system has to be returned to GE, the equipment. Now, they don't want all of it, and I've been in discussions with them. But the fact that it's a negotiating position that we have with GE. The contract ends on the end of February, and there is no way that we are going to install a new AMI system by the end of February. You got to order the system. You got to go through the bid proposal process. You got to decommission one system, take it down, inventory it, take all the parts, send all the parts back to GE. That has to be negotiated and agreed upon. You got to bring in a company that's going to put in the new meters. You got to bring in the company that's going to install them, and then all the ramifications, all the questions that come with upgrading, making sure the software is upgrading and making sure everything works. That's why I want to bring in a consultant as far as someone that is used to doing this work that helps an LPC do this kind of work. And it's not impossible, but we do need help doing it. And I wrote down the steps in my packet as far as what my rationale for these steps is. If we want to continue to discuss this.
So Mr. Jones, how many people do we have reading meters now?
We have Mr. Kip, Mr. Burt, Mr. Anderson, and Mr. Kip, Mr. Burt, Mr. Anderson, and Mr. Ben. That's 4. That's what we got now. 4. That's it.
So how many meters is the extended bridge reading?
That depends, Mr. Jones. The extended bridges are, there's 15 of them or so that are out there, and they read groups of meters depending on if the system is working. Sometimes they read more meters, sometimes they read less. And there are extended bridges out there that aren't working that we are removing.
What's the estimate, that they'll be expending?
Okay, there's, let me see, 15 divided by 8,000.
About 24,000, what you say?
Yeah,
24,000?
yeah, 24, so, yeah, divide, it's probably, 12, 15, 1,500 at a time, or get roughly, because some days it'll read more, some days it'll read less. And then there are repeaters out there too. See, so you can't count an extender reading total meters because there's repeaters that read the meters and then transfer that information to an extender bridge or a collector. Okay, so there's three parts to the meter. There's the extender bridge, there's the collector, and there's the repeaters. And they're in different areas, and they have the repeaters, they transfer the information from one to the other, so it gets back to an extender bridge that aggregates that information and sends it to the database that's kept by GE.
So with this company, David Jolly Meter, who was here with us, how long were they here?
90 days, 90 days. And I want to extend the contract for a maximum of a year because my idea is to get rid of the meter reading altogether. I never want to read another meter again. But the thing is that when we transition from the new AMI system to the old AMI system to the new AMI system, that is a process where you still want to be able to keep your billing on time and your meter reading. And so that's why I want to have 2 meter reading companies in here. The second meter reading company, they have GPS capability. They are going to be able to, when they go out and read the meters, identify where everyone is by GPS. Right now, we don't know where everyone is by GPS. We're going to them all, but when it comes to the inventory and control and making sure you get everything that you got to get back, you got to have accurate counts and accurate numbers. And that's why we bring these people in, because that's where the cost comes in. And, and taking them down, decommissioning them and sending them back to GE and negotiating all this. And that's the large part of negotiating this with GE. Currently, we owe GE about $78,000 payments plus about $140,000 payment that was, well, Attorney Perry knows more about the details than I do, that was negotiated. In negotiations that are still in negotiations, but GE is very concerned about the lack of payments, and I have been informed that they have had discussions about cutting off services to HSUD. Now they haven't said so, but they're in discussions, and that weakens our negotiating position. We are if GE turns the system off, we are up the creek without a paddle because we will not be able to keep billing up and we will not be able to pay TVA on time. And this is our position, and it's not a good position, and we have to negotiate from this position. Now,
To be clear, there are some questions regarding the usability of the system and of the GE system when they were installed, and whether or not we had the capacity or the capabilities that they were supposed to provide in order for them to be effective. That's kind of the negotiation or what have you. So to be
round it out.
So are we paying GE at all?
Yeah.
I know the 78,000 and 140,000. Why haven't we paid that? Or why are we not paying that?
Okay, we're scheduled to make a payment today, this week of 78,000, and the 140,000 that's in negotiations. But there are two more payments of 78,000. We expect to make another. The plan is to make another one this month to be able to negotiate with GE as far as making this a mutually beneficial disassociation. Now, I'm coming in on the tail end of this thing, so my position is to get rid of the GE system, get a new system in here so that we can keep the billing and metering going and improve the distribution network that we have. That's the next step, and then go on and do the repairs and upgrades on the distribution network and the substations and all the other things that are listed in the TVA and the TVPPA report that we need to do. It's a lot.
Are we looking at a new, meter reading?
Yes, yes, sir. The team, that's myself, Mr. Derek Jefferson, Mr. Daniel Randall, and Mr. Richard Boga. They've been in on the discussions with me. We've looked at Nighthawk, we've looked at Vision Metering, we've looked at OATI, we've looked at Landis and Gear, and we've had many discussions with AMI vendors, and also discussions with companies that help LPCs, local power companies, install meters. So yes.
Okay, have we, talked to other municipalities to see how they're meeting?
Yes, we've talked with New Albany. They're installing Nighthawk meters. There's a city in Athens, Georgia. They're one of the companies installing meters there. Now I've talked with several Aberdeen. I've talked with several municipalities and cities that are doing meter installations, and I've talked with several installation companies about this.
So, but for right now, you want us to negotiate or request, give you authority to.
What
about number 4? I'm requesting authority to enter into a contract agreement for additional meter readers with Advanced Meter Services LLC.
Yes, that's the second meter reading company. That's the company that has the GPS capability. When they go out and read meters, they're going to be able to establish the GPS capability where the meters are. What that means is that we'll know the GPS where the new meters are going to be installed. And when it comes to creating our maps, which we don't have now, we will be able to create maps that knows where the meters are. That's the big problem that we have now. We don't have maps. And this will not only be maps for the electrical system, we're talking electric, but we're going to have maps for water and gas also, which we don't have maps now. I'm thinking ahead. And so, I'm sorry.
But based on your model, though, you wouldn't need number 4 right now, would you? You would need the one that you're wanting, that you're saying is essential, is the Jolly meter. Is that correct? The Jolly meter, the $3 per day meter reading. I understand the services for advanced meter reading. That's the company that's out of Kentucky.
Right.
I thought that would be more down the road. So.
Now, but okay, the Jolly meter. The reason, though, that's the second reason that I wanted the advanced meter reading companies, because they have that GPS capability. Right. The first reason is that I found out with the Jolly meter reading company, before the contract ended, the two guys got sick. And when people get sick, they can't read. And when folks aren't reading, the thing we can't, it's the same thing. So we have more people out there reading meters with the advanced meter reading company. That eliminates that. There'll be 2 additional people at a minimum, most likely 4, and they're out there learning where the meters are. When it comes time for the installation of the new meters and the decommissioning, it'll be that much smoother. That's the reason why I'm looking, the three reasons why I'm looking at that second meter reading company. First is to ensure that the meters are consistently read so that we can, have this billing problem taken care of before the new year. And I am confident that with that, this will be eliminated.
The GE system working?
Is it working or is it worth it, did you say?
Is it working? Because then you expressed that it's not working.
It's not working the way it was designed to work. On average, it operates at less than 70%, which means you got 30% of the meters to read all the time. And so, yeah, it's not working well. We'll put it that way.
So have we tried to, look at alternatives like trying to hire meter readers?
Well, hiring meter readers, what you have to do is they have to learn the route and they have to be able to read the meters. We've paid, I'm sorry, I ain't got my glasses on, man. We spent $39,327.
That's a year's salary for one man. And we pretty much did the same thing with them. They didn't know our routes. So we had to have guys they had to route some of our guys in order for them to learn the routes. In turn, we really could have hired somebody and did the exact same thing. And we could have got a full year as opposed to just 90 days.
Okay, that math, Mr. Jones, if we hire one person counting all those, can't count there's our meter guys out there reading all these meters, plus the 2 Jolly meter readers. And so that's more on an average, there were 5 people out there reading meters, not one. So we hire one person is not going to be able to read all those meters over the course of a year.
I said, have we looked at hiring meter readers? That's what I asked. And if we knew that meter reading was an issue coming in, that should have been top priority, especially in relation to the GE system, because it's been known that we had several issues with GE.
Well, okay. This is what I found out since I started. And I didn't know what the issues were as far as, the meter reading and the billing and what was going on. So when it comes, it's just my opinion that right now, for where we are with the contract ending, and we have to bring in new people to train them, they're going to have to learn where the meters are. They're going to have to catch up. And as long as we are in this position where we have to read the meters, there's always the possibility that this situation can get worse. I don't see where it is going to improve. Even if we had enough people to read meters constantly, we still need to replace this GE system.
So I understand that. I think we all get that it's a system that we need to futuristically look at and plan to change or overhaul, whatever the situation is. But what he's asking is, have we run an ad in the paper for meter readers from Holly Springs or surrounding areas?
Okay, no, we have not run an ad, but people have come to me and stating that, oh, I got somebody that wants to read meters. And I said, oh, okay. Matter of fact, and when I inquired about them, I told them, well, since they wouldn't be working for the city in general, they would be part-time and they would be working for the meter reading company, because that's what I was talking with the guy about. But then it came out that they didn't have their own vehicles and they didn't want to work on, they could possibly only work on the weekends, things like that. And then there was one individual that was recommended, and Jolly Meter Reading guy told me that he considered taking them on, but at that time he had just bought 2 new vehicles and he couldn't afford to bring on a new person at that time. So bringing in, hiring new people to do this, if we weren't in the situation that we're in with the contract ending and everything, uh, was it getting rid of it and still, yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt. What is it that GE advising you in regards to meter reading?
GE is not providing any, sir. I mean, I've asked them.
They're not providing you with, no type of support.
Okay, what they do, yes.
What you can do in order to get more meter reading.
What we can do to get more, they recommend, they tell us what's wrong with which extended bridges are down, and which ones need to be reset or repaired, and we do that, and sometimes they come up and sometimes they do not.
Is that because of the money, the payment?
No, that's because the software, the software doesn't work, and it wasn't a good idea from the beginning, technically.
So we are doing what GE advised us in regards to what's going on with the.
Oh, yes, yes, sir.
We're doing.
Yes.
So, and the.
So what are you asking for tonight?
I got the things I'm asking for tonight. I got 5 things I want to. Again, I'm asking for a minimum of $500,000 to the side from the ARPA money to cut the right of way. I cannot begin to stress the importance of cutting the right of way enough. The right of way is the most expensive thing that any LPC will have to do. It's the most expensive expense, and we have to cut the right of way. And before we talked about what happens if the winter is bad. Before you can make any repairs, before you can go out and fix anything, you're gonna have to cut the right of way when you get out there if you can't get to the wires and the so we have to cut that's the one thing. The other thing was I recommend. Second one was that I.
Question, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Where are we on the money that we
I think you
already
can,
have?
but I don't know, but I think you can.
Okay. Yes, sir. As far as the $435,000 that is with TVA that was set aside by the state of Mississippi, I have submitted 4 right-of-way vendors to TVA for inclusion in their Maximo program. Okay, and I've submitted those, and that's in the process right now. That's being done. Of
when this will be done.
It's being done right now, Mr. Ship, and I can tell you I included the contract, the new contract with TVA for distributing those funds and what has to happen. There's invoices that have to be filled out to take place. There's agreement. We have to specifically tell them, which areas to cut in. I'm going to do it differently than it's been done in the past. I mean, I'm not talking about here, but just in general.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was number 1, number 2.
Okay.
Move on.
Number 2 was just bringing Atwell and Gent, which is the engineering firm with the experience of helping us with the bid process as far as getting a new meter reading company and all that, going through that process. Number 3 and 4 we already discussed. Number 5 is the customer service training. The free customer service training with MLT that we're looking for a memorandum of understanding. And the question was last week, the last time was, does MLT have to have access to any Holly Springs information? And the answer is no. They don't have to have access to any of our information.
Right, they don't have to have it, but
And and of course, the rate increase, I left my rationale because I'm asking for the rate increase, and for consultant Chris Mitchell is to help us with developing a rate increase plan. And the last thing is for executive session, that's personnel matters at the utility department. Thank you. Any other questions?
You have any other department heads? I will call up chief.
Sorry. Sorry. You need to pass. What was that?
I think it's in the pack.
Oh, it is in the pack. Oh, that's yours.
Good evening, everyone. Just briefly, the only thing I have at this time is our generator at the police department. It's down. It's not working. It's been down now for the last about a little bit of about a year and a half. We used to have a service contract with it. When we had that service contract, it was come servicing it every year, but now since that service, we don't have that service contract for the last 3 years. This is the results of it. It's not working. And when it goes down, when the lights goes out, whatever, the whole police department is down, and the municipal court, they down, and we already have, computers that's already aged, and those computers, when they go down, we have a lot of times, every time that the power go out, we have to call the IT guy to come up there and put us back online as far as the internet and stuff like that. So hadn't had anybody to look at it lately. I know I budgeted for it. That was one of my main things that I put in the budget was for that generator to get back online. But like I said, hadn't had anybody to look at it. But when I do, I didn't want y'all to be surprised with a service bill or whatever. Though. But plans on having somebody look at it. But yeah, I just wanted to put that on y'all mind.
We plan on having somebody.
Well, I'm gonna get with Chief Crane. I know he knows somebody that can do that. I'm supposed to be getting with him on that too, because I think he was saying a couple of generators down at other places around the city also. So. Okay. All right. Good. But that's all I have at this time. Yeah.
What about the grievance?
Okay, yeah, that's I got an executive session matter on that. Yeah.
Police training on it?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, also a couple of police training. One is a dispatcher training for Miss Fitzpatrick. The clerks now, they're required to attend training also to get hours for their certification. So training is coming up in I think it's November the 18th and 19th at Holmes Community College in Grenada for Miss Fitzpatrick to attend this class. It's a 2-day class. It's 2 different classes, but it's going to be on 2 different days. It's $150 for each class, which is reimbursable through Bledsoe. And so we're requesting for her to attend that class plus hotel and per diem.
What were those dates again for Ms. Fitzpatrick?
It's gonna be November the 18th and 19th.
What training is this?
It's going, one class gonna be human trafficking, the other class gonna be legal concepts.
What's the registration?
It's $150 for each class.
Are these mandatory training?
Yes,
You asking for hotel and per diem?
yes.
That's just for Miss Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, at this time, just for Miss Fitzpatrick. Because she's the only one up there right now where her certification, she got to get her certification recertified.
Okay, I'll move that, we approve Ms. Fitzpatrick for in training November 18th and 19th on human trafficking, at $150 registration plus hotel and per diem.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved by Alderwoman Merriweather, and second by Alderwoman Fountain. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Aye.
All in favor, aye. All right, the ayes have it, no nay.
And the other one is going to be for FTO, which is a field training officer. Officer Faulkner expressed the interest in that. He does a little bit of that now, but he wants to get some training in it, some formal training in that field training officer class, and it's going to be November the 12th through the 14th. That's in Camp Shelby, Mississippi, and with a course registration of $350, and the lodging and meals is $180
What's 180?
for the lodging and meals.
Officer Faulkner.
Yeah, also Wade Faulkner.
So this is not mandatory, right?
No, it's not. But they had to get in-service training hours, which is going to be part of his in-service training hours for the year, which is due in July the 1st. So next year we have to have in-service training hours by the end.
No motion. Is there a motion?
I make the motion.
Okay. All right, it's been moved by Alderwoman Fountain and second by Alderman Jones. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay.
We have a motion to approve October 8th, 2024. Yeah, okay. What's wrong?
Sorry to interrupt like that. So I had already passed out the quote from Exceed. It's concerning the fire department number 2. And so what we need is to get it operational. We need to get the network installed, which is rack, your basic networking equipment, and get it all installed and wired up. And so the quote that you have before you, it basically all of that. And then once I get that, I can bring in the internet service over it. So I'm not gonna just really go into details about it, but that's pretty much the short explanation of it. Getting the service up and going for them.
Yeah.
and the price of it is $10,459.18. 18 cents.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, I got one. You got quotes from different.
Well, these are the people that
Familiar.
we already got contract with. Uh,
That's
they
right.
developed our network before I even came here.
I just wanted it for the record, so it's because of the amount. If they're familiar with the system and it wouldn't cost, it's gonna cost more to
Yeah.
reintegrate another system and all that anyway.
Yeah,
So,
you have to swap it over.
yep.
And this is through Exceed Technology.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this installation too? This part.
Yeah, it's the installation. They provide us with the servers, the switches and everything, the wiring, the whole nine. It's a good price because anywhere else you looking 20,000 to 100. Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion. I'll move that we authorize Exceed Technologies to provide
Installation of
installation services for our new fire department in the amount of $10,459.18.
I second.
Been moved by Alderwoman Merriweather, second by Alderwoman Fountain. All in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. Right, the ayes have it, motion carries.
Was that Exceed Technology?
Yes, Exceed, EX.
Any more department heads before we move on? All right. Next on the agenda, we have the approval of the October 8th, 2024 work session, special call meeting minutes. October 15th, 2024 regular board meeting minutes.
Okay, I'll move that we approve the minutes of October 8th, 2024 work session special call meeting minutes. And October 15th, 2024 regular board meeting minutes. Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved by Alderwoman Merriweather, second by Alderwoman Thompson. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay. Do you have any executive session matters?
I believe we're going to,
No.
I believe that we're going to close session to determine the need for executive session.
And it's to discuss the issue regarding potential litigation. I can hear. So you're supposed to. You just don't do it the right way.
You carry.
Also,
Discipline sheet downstairs.
all in favor?
Oh, hi, I'm sorry.
All opposed? What's that? Motion carries.